Hey guys, Tightrope here, bringing you a 2v2 today. We're on Dreux Scout. Playing today, spawning on the left, we have a MasterMind as OKW. Immediately locking into Breakthrough. Teaming up with him is Nuffa. Playing as Ostheer with German Mechanized, German Infantry and Festung Armor. On the right hand side we have that guy as US Forces, with airborne, armor, and infantry, and finally Ben as Soviets with defensive. In terms of rankings here, this is a Patreon backer submitted game. Both are arranged teams. Allies haven't played through their placement matches yet, but as an Axis arranged team, they're around 600. And the Axis, I think, 900? Yes, 900. Or high 800, so I don't want to discredit them. Okay, so getting some sandbags up. Push down onto this cut-off region, and only a few Fusiliers here to defend, accidentally vaulting over there. Ooh, are they stuck in there? No. Bad start either way for MasterMind. Tough to dislodge. Even lose this if he's unlucky. Yeah, you gotta right click drag your way into cover to try and avoid those accidental vaults over cover positions like fences. Very important maneuver. Once you've experienced like accidental vaults like that 2 or 3 times, it's like, oh, never again. Might be a little bit more effort to right click drag, but at least you know it's going to work every time, you know. I'm getting some trouble down here for Nuffa. Switches over the focus fire to this squad. Did they get stuck? Did that conscript squad just get stuck? Oh, they're stuck on the sandbag or something. I was like, where's the death indicator? Okay, that was weird. Must have been stuck after the sandbag plant somehow. Brave stuff there from Nuffa with that machine gun. Well, there's a possibility of it getting decrewed, but it ended up working out. There was a good switch of focus fire from this squad to the other one to try and lay down some more suppression. It's key to winning that one. There's with some nice heavy cover. Sturmpost coming back in to assist.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
A late retreat from these rear echelon.
Supply lines have been cut.
And they're dead. 4 conscripts for Ben. That guy actually went for 4 riflemen on top of the rear echelon. You don't see that too often. I have been, playing a few 4 rifle strats myself. Inspired by Gibber. They can work alright. Sturmpost though getting chopped up here in the middle of all these riflemen. And this is a very tough matchup for MasterMind at this phase of the game, going for quite a few Fusiliers. And they just stand no chance against the riflemen in mid to close range. They're having some trouble once the Sturmpost have retreated especially, and could lose another one here. Close call, very, very close. Nice machine gun. Into a 250. Okay. Flamethrower upgrading. So let's kind of jump into this and get to work. Typically, I'm not a huge fan of this against Soviets. It just feels like they have so many units that can get anti-tank, AT grenades and whatnot. It's often just not really that good. I think the 250 is as strongest against Brits. See how it gets on here. See a couple of retreats. Anti-tank grenades in the tech, so the clock is ticking for the 250, but it looks like he might be able to get a wipe with it here. A squad wipe like this, I'd say it's pretty much mission accomplished. everything from then on is just gravy. Look at that guy stuck in the treads. Oh my god. He's taken for a ride. And here we go. AT grenades. 1, 2. Down it goes. Only lost one model in the explosion, so that's good. Ideally would jump out before the second AT grenade came through, just in case the death crits are unkind. Could lose the whole squad of pyros. But yeah, it was not the best path to take to retreat with the 250. Once you have an idea of the timings of how long anti-tanks grenades take to tick, you realize you don't have that long of a window before you're in some trouble. With stormtrooper action down the far side. Could actually work out reasonably well in this game. Ben having locked into defensive. Doesn't have any elite infantry to fight back against the stormtroopers. Doesn't have like SVT conscripts that are stronger in close range. And might be incentivized to go for Dishkas, which the stormtroopers can sneak around and flank with their camouflage, so could actually work out quite well here. Don't know if these have... Dishka hasn't revealed itself yet, but it's going to be good. And this is a situation where you should be looking for a rifle nade. Here we go. You saw them dodging though. It's where sometimes you need to pump a rifle nade, pretend you're going to do it, and then cancel it. Let the engagement sit for another few seconds, and try fire off another one. It can buy you some time as well for your MG42 to reposition. And because the enemy squad's running around trying to dodge your fake rifle nades, they're not, well, they're maybe firing on the move. They might be like even running backwards during some of that, so lower DPS allows you to stay in the engagement for longer to allow that rotation to happen.
The bunker is now a field hospital. MG-34 gun crew ready for action.
Mechanized from MasterMind's got the looks going. The guy did go for a lieutenant, going for an aim 50 cal at this stage. Okay, cancel it and switches into the Stuart. But you know, it does have the Stuart's build time to get some work done with the looks. Spending this time planting some mines though. I wouldn't be planting mines in this situation. I think higher priority is getting the G43s on these Fusiliers and maybe getting aggressive with these units, trying to press your advantage. Well, you know, I think this is enough to support the looks coming in. You don't have to be too worried about the Stuart. But we'll see, maybe that might get some major work done. It's just, it's kind of low priority, you know, dropping 2 rifle models. The Fusiliers. Okay, it doesn't. It's triggered by a stray US mine anyway. It's not a spot that, you know, light vehicle is that likely to run over, so it's not likely to kill an enemy light vehicle in that position. So it's just... Wouldn't, but here we go. Double AT nades. The Dishka is nearby. He's not going to hang about. It was conceivable for the Dishka to push in, maybe use some AP rounds, maybe one of the 2 conscripts able to stick around for long enough to throw another AT nade off. There we go, one of the main benefits of going for German infantry, got the 5-man Flamer Pioneers. Just to tell his teammate to stop running back with his looks, so he can sit down and repair. But now that the Stuart is on the field, MasterMind will need a Puma or a Raketin to counter this. Just operating with this is not really enough, and he's got plenty of manpower for it. The issue is, you know, if you just have this, sure, you can fight well, but what happens if 2 squads have to retreat? Now you don't have a snaring squad in range and you get yourself in some major trouble. Okay, T-70 out now. The Ben and Nuffa does have a pack. Did not go for a 222 though after the 250. Pack in a great position there. Second shot missing though. G34 trying to get some suppression going. Nuffa already completed battle phase 2. So not too far off a medium now. It shows the Axis have had quite strong fuel control. Up until they lost it just now. Okay, Stuart getting a bit of work done. Very long veterancy at this stage. Same story for the looks, which hasn't really reached its potential. Good spot for these LMG Grenadiers. They back out to fire a rifle grenade and a sandwich between the machine gun here. Works out quite well. To win this engagement, might actually be able to cap this fuel afterwards as well. T70 getting some repairs now. We're kissing in the build now for MasterMind, as well as the second machine gun. So, perfectly fine option. That guy at least is quite limited. Getting artillery at this stage to counter double machine guns. This is a nasty retreat though. Good flank from that guy. Grenadier down. Just coming in, but some prioritized vehicles here. Didn't really help too much. The thing about the looks is, here's the Stuart, its penetration is just so bad. Just about would never bother leaving on prioritized vehicles. Okay, and this is not looking good for Nuffa. Oh, double grenades. MG decrewed. Squad down here though, could get the decrew on the Dishka right back, but not going to be able to steal that away, unfortunately. Might even have been worth with this Grenadier squad to run back and then try to retreat from back here. So I have to run past all these US troops. So just kind of get home safe, but against better players they'll throw grenades into your retreat path and... oh! There's some trouble. T70 finds the looks. And some hits in. MG spinning around for all the OKW infantry. Oh, this is not looking good for the looks. Luckily the T70 is actually backing away here. Tank grenades didn't quite get in range. The Raketten's rolling down. But again, some US troops into the retreat. Maybe a slightly early retreat with these two squads. Hung about to fight for a bit longer. Maybe force away these US units earlier. Oh, this could be a wipe. Yes, there we go. Rifleman dead. Oh, but that's nasty. Heavy mortar lands and then the double light vehicles teaming up. Raketten decrewed fast. This is wild action right now. Very important for the Axis to try and hold on to that Raketten, but so difficult. This AT gun needs to work its way up to this position, I think. Maybe like sneak around back here. Oh, misses the shot on the T70. Conscript dead though for Ben. Raketten's going to get stolen by Ben. Oh, that is really bad news for the Axis. So yeah, overall MasterMind a little bit late getting Raketten. Once it did eventually arrive, didn't last long. It was largely kind of just bad luck with that mortar shell landing at exactly the wrong time. Grenadiers here supporting this AT gun. That's in some trouble. This is rather daring from Ben, but it's making it work. Looks as on hold fire at the moment. Tries to get around onto the rear, but unfortunately not quite fast enough. If it could have got around to the rear, got the rear armored penetrations going, there's a high chance the T70 would have died there, and if the looks died in the process, it's, you know, fine trade. I'd be happy with that. Extra T70. Yeah, crack it like a nut. Okay, smoke grenade out from the stormtroopers. Panzer IV trying to do some attack groundwork here, but there's a lot of sandbags in the way blocking these shots. The RMG Grenadiers coming in from the side, but the Dishka fast to spin around and no rifle nade from the squad. We've got some big damage done. Could be a dead Grenadier on retreat now. Not switching their focus fire across. Able to flank this machine gun. Echelon capping VP now. This is feeling some pressure. So M1919's coming through for that guy. Finally starting to equip those weapons. A little bit overdue. And the Panzer IV limited so far. Seems to be having trouble with the elevation and whatnot. Stolen Raketen causing some issues as well. Yeah, this is a dicey one with Rifleman there for the 18. They wouldn't be diving in here. He jumps out. If he just stayed in, the Stuart I think would be able to kill this looks in one shot here. See how many shots the looks bounced. Eventually the looks does end up going down to the Fox Grenadiers, but the vehicle crew did survive. Oof. Heavy mortars on a mission today. T-70 did during all that though. Okay, that's good news for Nuffa. Looks like maybe it got baited in by the Panzer IV taking an engine crit. But at the moment the Axis are struggling a bit. Here comes a T-34 looking to polish off that wounded Panzer IV. A stormtrooper ambush, but it's not quite enough to get the kill. The pack is nearby. He has repaired this up so it can survive at least one shot. Might be able to get it to two. He keeps repairing. Still on a hold fire somehow from the earlier fight. And the T-34 pins both shots frontally. The pack pulled a little bit too far back as well, so it's not able to return fire. Pretty unlucky there. The T-34 pinned two in a row on the front, but these things happen. But yeah, definitely bad that the tank was still on hold fire.
The enemy is attempting to steal our
The mortar's in some trouble. Oh man, these allies are so aggressive, but it's working out for them at the moment. Oh no, Raketen packed up. We could have got another shot off there easy, but here comes the second Raketen and the pack's coming in now as well. Looks like this one was just left on attack command, but able to take it down. A bit of extra damage from the flak base, I think, making the difference. T-34 dead. Was working out the aggression, but then it backfires. I think that was a good answer by MasterMind. A double Raketen helped out a lot, and will help a lot against the Jackson that's rolling onto the field now as well. Rebuild on the Panzer IV for Nuffa, which I think makes sense. You don't really have like a super strong unit you're trying to save for in the late game with this commander. I think the game is still quite open for medium tanks to be successful at this stage. Ben only has one anti-tank gun. Doesn't have like vastly superior numbers of tanks. And feels like Nuffa could do with a bit more anti-infantry compared to say like a Panther or something. Help bleed these Soviet units. Make some headway. Pressure on the Dishka. Katyusha from Ben was building a T-34 but cancelled it. Oh, this could be a double Panzerfaust. Jackson able to back away there, and here come a big old rifle blob into the retreat. Oof. Some good moves like that from the double allied team. Catching the Axis off guard. In the meantime, this
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Panzer, I think it was knocking out a fuel cache just before. It finds the ambulance back here. And down that goes now. Okay. And it looks like Nuffa didn't suffer too much. I don't think he lost any squads. P4 got a few nice kills. So successful few minutes there for the Axis. Very close call on the conscripts as well. Finds the vehicle crew up here as well. They want to sneak around onto the fuel. Overs now from MasterMind. That's fine. So there's a little bit too much float overall, so I'll probably build another squad of mainlines as well. Another squad of Fusiliers, probably, since he has enough munitions to go for the Oval weapon upgrade and some Fusiliers. And your off-maps in this commander not that important to save for. Here comes the Katyusha. Strong damage. Good dodge with this squad coming down. The squad looks like they're box selected, both moved down, but didn't end up backfiring. So that was a good maneuver from Nuffa. Could have been disastrous, but kept a cool head. Fusilier squad very far into enemy territory here. Retreating. Maybe worried about getting wiped on retreat by some of those big US blobs we saw earlier. Most of those units are back at base though. There we go, now the double Panzer IV is getting going. This is a good idea because the Allies only have one anti-tank gun between the two of them. Comes the Jackson though, looks like he swapped the Stuart's vehicle crew into it. Good move from that guy. Oh, Panzer IV doesn't chase fast enough, so misses the opportunity for the kill shot. He's blitzing in now though. And the T-34 did briefly stop. Oh, but he misses the kill shot. Firing on the move, max range. The Raketins retreating. OKW Panzer IV's in some trouble. The Jackson looking to finish the job. Pack doesn't quite have vision, but the Jackson's going to come around the corner and he gets stunned. Pack might lose vision behind the fence though. Oh, there we go. X-Tank Overwatch dropped engine crit on the Panzer IV. Well, he's kind of right in the middle of it now. I don't think he's going to be able to get away alive. Yes, unfortunate. Not much you can do about that. That anti-tank Overwatch in that position. Possible to defeat. Engine crit tank with that vision. But overall, it was a very nice target weak point. It's just a shame that there was, you know, those double Raketins got forced away. There was potential, you know, I think it was the vehicle crew and the lieutenant. Maybe they could have hung about if there was some more support. And it seems like at the moment, MasterMind really running onto the field with these low health squads time and time again. This is just costing manpower, costing engagements. You know, coming into the fights already with a quarter of your health missing. So we need to continue to plant med crates. Well, at this stage could backtick to build the battle group. A fine option as well. Oh, dodge on the grenade, and it looks like MasterMind just not paying attention. Ober's down in the north. Too focused on these two squads. Raketin's in the center at the moment. Stormtroopers buying some time for the pack to get over here. Unfortunately, the Raketin's very slow rolling up. 1034's long gone now.
What are your orders? Armor here.
Is that a rebuilt Jackson, I guess? For that guy. And nice little move here from the Stormtroopers. There come the double Raketins. The pack was a little bit too far back. Here comes the Katyusha now. The Raketin's trying to retreat. Oh, look at that scatter. Very lucky for those Raketins to get away. Looks like that guy gearing up for a siege on this Shreya. We have some Sternpires up here that can assist, maybe force away this Jackson. Jackson actually taking quite a few hits. Doesn't have the vetted major yet for long-range vision. Makes it more difficult. Nuffa tries to steal away the heavy mortar, but unsuccessful, gets decrewed. Okay, now smoke to cover. Is maybe slightly worse in his hands than is in Ben's hands, since it is a Katyusha that could barrage this to try counter it, but
The enemy is taking our
never
territory.
be upset about getting a heavy mortar, really. And these US troops are coming around the long side. I don't understand what they're trying to achieve. Doesn't have munitions for a time on target. Just doesn't make any sense what that guy's doing here.
We are losing a sector.
MasterMind has gone for the Sturm Officer now. That could have been another option instead of another mainline squad. Hoping not to rebuild the Obus. And the vision from the Sturm Officer is very helpful. So the Fusiliers should probably be trying to spread out at the moment to ensure a snare on this Jackson. Looks like they managed to get the machine gun on retreat though. Jackson trying to do some crushing action.
Forces have 100 points remaining.
It's not the best at crushing though. Definitely would have got an anti-tank grenade on this, just to slow it down.
We're losing a capture point.
Okay, 50 cal decruit, close range Katyusha. Oh, could be another 50 going down here though, or a Dishka actually. Same with an icon. Okay, second pack picked up by Nuffa, who's going for a Brumbier now.
Reporting for duty.
I think I probably would have just continued on the Panzer IVs. You know, by going for double all these support weapons, like the Axis in general have just a tremendous number of support weapons at this stage. You're kind of just playing into the hands of Ben building Katyushas. And at the end of the day, you know, the Brumbier quite often finds itself in some trouble and will have an even harder time of getting out of the anti-tank overwatch. Artillery out the back, doing some damage. The double pack's in a good position though. Jackson slowed it back away, gets the target weak point off, and that Jackson went down real fast. He dropped the anti-tank overwatch, but with no engine crits, it's just rather toothless. That was a very poor attack from the Allies. Just kind of tried to force it, tried to just get in there, do something, instead of waiting for an opportunity and capitalizing on it. Did not work out at all. That guy briefly started up a SU-85, but goes for another Katyusha instead, which I think is the right call. Look at this, double mortars, double AT guns. Still the machine gun down here as well. MasterMind, 3 machine guns, 2 kittens. He's gone for a Yak Tiger. Well, that is one way to try and shut down these Jacksons. Problem is there is no Jackson at the moment. It looks like that guy is not going for a Jackson, he's going for a second anti-tank gun. Maybe also going to lean into artillery. Katyusha actually targeting the double mortars. Gonna get decrew on one of them, but back the other way, the Dishka about to get decrewed. Is that both Katyushas firing there?
One of our machine guns has been silenced.
Oh my god. Stern pose, find the Katyusha. No way.
Forces are
Oh my god. And now the priest is next. There's no defenses back here for the allies. T-34, have they just not noticed what's happening back here? That guy takes 3 Shrek shots, man. That's like... It's like 20... Probably like 22 seconds of time to react. Ouch. Well, that is really bad news for the Allies. They were relying on those pieces of artillery to counter the team weapon heavy play of the Axis, and now that's just completely out the window. Did he lose 2 Katyushas? Did he cancel it? He must have cancelled the second one. Seems like being a little unsure of what he's building at the moment. So the Katyusha and T-34 rebuild. Bunker up in the center. Which is an okay choice. I think I'll probably go for one more grenadier before that. Oh boy. Oh, close call on that Panzer IV. Tiny bit of speed as the blitz wore off. Enough to get it away to safety. Oh, dodging that Katyusha. Just rolling on through with this OKW infantry. Major also dropping some artillery down. Stormtroopers hidden all the way in the north there. Sneaking forwards now. Fresh squad of them. Problem with trying to hide somewhere like here is that nobody's going to come up here unless you've capped this point. And then they probably like cap this point and then run to this point. So they could be waiting there for a very long time. Before they able to spring an ambush. Axis very low on victory points at this stage though, so even though they've managed to get themselves into a commanding position in terms of army, way behind on the VPs. Won't take much for them to lose this one because of that. And while you've got this kind of advantage, you do want to keep pushing as the Axis, not just sit back on 3 VPs. Try to fully exploit the army size lead you have right now. Hold on down here. Get it up on the boom bear, so now I can start letting rip with these bunker busters. Ben does have the munis for the anti-tank overwatch though, so he's got to be very careful he doesn't take a anti-tank grenade with that bomb bear. Position for the kitten. amount of camouflage there as well. The mortar's still living on though, one model. Foes crawling in to jam the capture. Good positioning on the pack, shutting down that T-34. V3 pack, tremendous rate of fire. All these anti-tank guns in one small area though for the Axis, and it's not an area where there are any tanks right now. I can understand leaving one somewhere else, but for three of them to be not particularly close to any tanks, it's not the best. Okay, fresh Jackson now for that guy. The elephant, I mean the Jagd Tiger rather, is trying to get some of its barrages going and whatnot, but not having a huge amount of success. Now the allies fighting into the centre. Stormtroopers though with the smoke nade doing some capping. Pack pushing up. Could have the other pack coming in from this angle as well, which might help against these logs. So that's going into the centre though. Panzer forward low. So I guess going to get away from the AT guns, and here comes the Werfer. To the centre actually. That's the way the machine gun should maybe be trying to use forced retreat. Okay, there we go. On the officer. I probably would have gone for this squad though, the one that wasn't suppressed. Well, I said it was from the bunker, right? Pack, that was the Vet 3 one, unfortunately getting decrewed and then killed off. Ooh! Bunker buster there. Pretty good hit. Axis scrapping their way onto the victory points, trying to hold on right now. So that second packet's finally coming down now. Oh, but the anti-tank overwatch. Conscripts Uran to 18 nades. So far from the edge as well. Pack lining up. Might get away though, might have lost vision on the Brumbier rather luckily. Then didn't continue chasing with the conscript squad to provide the vision. So that's fortunate for Nuffa. Did lose his pyro though, so going to be very slow getting repairs on that Brumbier. I think one pyro is kind of okay with only one tank like this, especially a full vet 5-man squad. Target forced away by the double AT guns, but one of them getting decrewed. The rifleman in some trouble from the flak base as well. Carnage up here.
We lost a gun crew.
Before it's nice and healthy again. Oh yeah, okay, Jackson is still alive back here repairing. Oh, we're going to steal away this MG42, but the Fusiliers are there. The body blocking needs to, really needs this. Oh, the second M1 getting decrewed. Here comes the Katyusha into the center, but he's dodging it nicely. Everything's surviving that. Retreating with this machine gun maybe wasn't necessary, could have just set up to cover the middle under that much pressure.
We are losing territory.
This time the Werfer not hitting too much. Only 3 kills now. AT gun, the Panzer IV should have came through and killed it. Same story with this one if MasterMind doesn't want it. He probably doesn't with 2 Raketans already and the Jagd Tiger. Doesn't have much room in the pop cap either, so should be important. Kill. Jackson trying to work its way around. Is he trying to go for the kill on this HQ again? That guy's making some very strange plays around the north of the map. The Jagdtiger is repaired now. But yeah, paying the price for not killing off this decrewed AT gun. It's going to get recovered by that guy. Still have this one over here. Oh, Raketin just outright destroyed by the bunker buster. Guess Ben didn't repair its weapon and doesn't actually have any combat engineers right now. They die in the center. T-gun backing up for reinforcements. Comes the Katyusha. Solid. Oh, here we go again. Anti-tank Overwatch takes an anti-tank grenade. This time the conscript's going to try hang about, provide some vision. They should have kept running around this side. The Boombear could just fire a shot here and wipe them. Boombear, I think, was still on hold fire. It's hard to see under all those explosions.
We have lost a machine gun crew.
But at least Ben now only has enough for one more anti-tank Overwatch. Oh, that was devastating. Pack decrewed as well as the heavy mortar. 27 points left for the Axis, but they're capping in the middle now. Double Jacksons. Don't know what they're up to. Seem to be getting forced back by this Jagdtiger at the moment. Into the center of the map now. Jagdtiger's moving across. In there with the vehicle crew. I definitely would have stayed in the building with the vehicle crew. Oh, there it goes. It's interesting. It doesn't have a... There it goes. This is where they jumped out of the Jackson originally. Vehicle crew swap. Before gets itself into a bit of trouble there. Now one shot with the Jagdtiger pumping those Jacksons. Needs to take grenade on the P4 though. Recruits the MG, but here comes the Katyusha. A lot of support weapons here for the Axis. Great Katyusha hits so far. The Raketin just about gets the 50, but they're staying in there bravely. Axis are desperate for VPs at this stage. Got the Panther down here now, so he's going to mobilize against the T-34. I think I would have drove all the way in there, hoping to be able to chase long enough to kill it. Hoping as well that he didn't have an anti-tank Overwatch ready to go. Barrage this. Guys are about to tick under halfway now, finally. Ooh, good hit from the Jagdtiger there with its HE rounds. Oh, look at that grenade range. It's got the bonus range on it. Go pick that up with the officer. Now the pack. rifleman into the machine gun. That's a good idea. Yeah, one of them getting suppressed though. Maybe some vision issues. Double Jackson's again gearing up for some kind of side-on attack. MasterMind queuing up a couple Panzer IVs. You do have to be careful. This will pretty much pop cap. Won't be able to reinforce. And at the moment, I think capping infantry is maybe a higher priority. And, another tank, which is maybe susceptible to these Jacksons.
Lowered the enemy down to 200 points.
Okay, T-34 coming in from the side. Troopers just outside the capture circle here. Could just run into the edge and jam the cap. That's exactly what they do. Sure out the back here, not doing too much. Tries to set up the machine gun again, but that could be trouble. Rifleman easily could have thrown a grenade here. Pack position. Oh, Panther didn't chase around the corner. Oh, looks like this T-34 maybe was intending to go for a ram. Too close to it though, can't activate it at this range, need a bit more space. By the time he goes for the ram, the Panther's already long gone. Big misplay there by Ben, getting too close with the T-34 early on. Oh boy, engine crit on the Jagdtiger. This could be trouble. Jackson's making some moves, but they are not very good moves. And down goes the Jackson. Where's the second Jackson? It's getting out of there. Yeah, that was not the best from Ben. Going for another T-34 now. He tried to force it again. Another AT gun for that guy, didn't he? I thought he just had one. What happened to it? I swear I saw one just a moment ago. Is that alright? Okay, Katyusha again. Tackling Grandies though. Dead over here, meanwhile, and here comes the Werfer, knocks out the Katyusha. Oh boy, devastating. Panther's now feeling bold, making a bit of a push. Getting out though with that pack in a good position to counter it. MG dead in the middle, meanwhile, to the other Katyusha. And this is a danger zone for the Panther. Overwatch about to come off cooldown. He's got healthy T-34 ram, and Overwatch could be death for that Panther. T-gun though in some trouble.
We've dropped to 100.
Down it goes.
Allied AT gun
Could be
has
an
been
anti-tank
destroyed.
grenade and kill on the Jackson next. Yeah, Tiger a little slow to move up though. The Jackson's going to get away. Tries to finish off the weapon, but someone hang around for too long with that Jagdtiger. Oh, T-34 is in some trouble. Panther wants to go on for the kill. Still needs 2 shots to kill him. There we go. Ram into anti-tank Overwatch. The Ram connects and penetrates. And the Panthers in some big trouble. Oh, doesn't even get to trade for the T-34.
Our Panzer forces have
That
been
was a
reduced
bit
by
too
one.
bold. Should have known that it was 2 shots to kill the T-34, so had to stay in there for too long with the Panther to make that a worthwhile attempt.
One of our machine guns has been silenced.
Maybe if the Panther was full health, maybe. But double worfers now, actually. Doing some damage down the bottom. Are there any anti-tank guns down here to recover? It looks like they all might be dead, so nothing to polish off this
Full assignment.
T-34 that went through the ram. Maybe MasterMind could come down to assist. He's got these double Panzer IVs. This is where the teamwork can kick in. Well, there's actually double Raketens up here that maybe Nuffa could come and pick up because MasterMind's got plenty of manpower. Could just rebuild them if he needs them. Tiger missing that shot.
We have loads of enemy to 75 points.
Yeah, Katyusha damage though.
Fire! Panzer engaging! Combat promotion!
It looks like eventually his T-34 will fall. There is an anti-tank gun over here as well for Nuffa.
Vehicle destroyed!
Still be capping with the Grenadiers if possible. Jackson's coming through the centre, the Panzer IV fleet charging forwards into trade. There it goes. The AT gun's sitting back there. So it's going to be able to pick off another one of these Panzer IVs. Here comes the Werfer though into the middle. Oh, 2 riflemen dead, and this Panzer IV might actually get away here. The AT gun spins around, but don't think it's got vision. It's got take aim active, but it's about to wear off. So Panzer IV's going to survive that somehow. This one though might not be so lucky. There's another Werfer strike though. This one, no, it's reasonable. Ooh, everything dead in the middle there. Good timing for that to happen as well, because Nuffa got forced off the bottom, and there we go. The Allies are just going to throw in the towel. That guy down to one man captain. Ouch. Well, yeah, generally I'm not a huge fan of the 250 against Soviets. It's just, it feels like they've got so many options to lightly counter it, whether it be penals, upgrading PTRSs, conscripts with the anti-tank grenades, guards, the Dishka. They can go for like an earlier time light vehicle like the quad. This. They just have so many anti-tank options to deal with it. I feel like it's very hard to get good damage done with it before they can counter it. And just mines as well. So yeah, I generally just prefer the 222, but it's nice to see a bit of German infantry memory for sure. Stormtroopers, I think overall pretty well used. Meanwhile, for MasterMind, a little bit too much manpower float throughout the match. Not entirely sure the Yak Tiger was justified when it was purchased, but it did end up working out because that guy kept building Jacksons and very reckless with the anti-tank gun control. Just donated. How many did he make? Juice 3. It felt like a lot more than that. Just kept letting them get decrewed. Maybe it's because they were just left here, and because MasterMind didn't kill them off, he's able to recrew them again. Yeah, that's something maybe MasterMind needs to work on. And yeah, I think for Nuffa, I probably would have just stayed with the Panzer IV spam instead of trying to take up to the Brumbeer. Maybe mixed in the Werfers after that. Just because, yeah, it was kind of playing into the hands of the Allies with their mass artillery. It was kind of lucky that that Shrek squad just came back here and killed the 2 pieces, really put a halt to the Allies' momentum in that department. because otherwise I think it was 3 machine guns, 2 Raketans. I think Nuffa had 2 AT guns, 2 machine guns, 2 mortars, something like that. You're asking for some rocket artillery. And yeah, maybe a bit more teamwork on some of these moves. Felt like it wasn't that much coordination between the Axis as an arranged team, but pretty good work like right at the end there, holding on to the VPs, getting the job done. And, you know, queuing up all those Panzer IVs kind of worked out because if one of them died, just, you know, instantly another one will be spitting out. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like Good Game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.